Hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to hop on here really quickly and read you something. I am still in the process of doing my research on the pole excursion and charting Nibiru, the inbound star system or planetary system that comes into our solar system every 3,600 years or so. I wanted to bring you this information from my mentor, Gerald Clark, who has now passed away. He published a Nibiru update in April the 28th, 2015, and I'm going through his information as well as researching Gil Broussard's information. So hopefully I will be able to bring you a presentation shortly of the findings that I come up with. Tonight I'm going to be reading from Enki's, I'm going to be reading from Gerald's update or book, okay? And it is a message from Lord Enki, who is the progenitor of mankind. Now, I know when I say these things, some of you will be quite skeptical. Okay, I understand that, and you should. You should use your discernment. All I'm asking you to do is just listen with open ears and an open heart, receive the information, and process it the way you do. Some of you will just let it roll off and you won't pay attention. We'll take this as entertainment. And then some of you will actually really take it to heart. And that's what I'm hoping that you will do tonight. Okay, so I'm going to read this short message and then I'm going to hop off here and let you guys get back to your evening. So thank you for joining me and let's dig in. So this anonymous message is from Lord Enki. Okay, it says, the following message was sent to Truth Frequency. It is a channeled message from Enki, creator of mankind. No claims are made about the authenticity of this information. It is ultimately up to the reader to decide the validity of this information. And the anonymous message from Enki begins. I have been tasked with delivering messages from Lord Enki, and I have been instructed to share these messages with you. After considering many websites, it was decided that the Truth Frequency is one of the few with certainty and balance between the physical and metaphysical world or realms. You are one of the few believers who also reserves enough skepticism to beware of frauds and deceivers, while at the same time showing respect to information you do not necessarily believe or agree with. Because you have maintained this level of neutrality, we have chosen your platform. If you choose to accept, we simply ask that you do not alter the messages in any way while publishing this information. However, acceptance of this task is voluntary, and you are free to decline. My name is unimportant. I am merely a messenger. And this is what it's saying. I'm reading straight from the transmission. And this was taken from, as I said, the Truth Frequency channel. Gerald decided to put it in his book, and now I'm reading it to you and relaying the information, okay? So it's been passed down twice from Lord Enki to the Truth Frequency, Gerald Clark, and now me. So I guess it would be 3 times. So here's where it starts. December the 3rd, 2013. Okay, it's been almost 7 years from this transmission. But Gerald put this in his book 5 years ago, okay? So let's just hear me out. It says December 3rd, 2013, transmission from Enki, firstborn son of King Anu the First. King Anu, I am Lord Enki, the Prince of the Earth. I have been guiding your species for hundreds of thousands of years. Together, we, the gods, lowercase g, have created and destroyed civilizations. Together, we will guide your kind to the higher dimensions of wisdom and understanding. Ascension is yours if you choose to accept it. Death shall be your destiny if you choose to deny it. From time I stepped foot on earth and created Eridu, which we know is in Iraq. Okay, I've talked about that. I have called this world my home, now as it was in the days of Zedrasudra, aka Noah, okay, his son. Nibiru is once again nearing. Enlil, through his nation of Israel, has claimed power as the one true God. Marduk has taken control of your Roman Empire. Your United States and European Union are split, serving both masters. Marduk, the rotten fruit of my seed, has raised an army in an effort to emerge the ruler of this world. You must remove yourself from the war of the gods, lowercase g, and you must not participate on either side. Your religions are perverted systems of the priesthood I once taught your kind. Do not continue to follow blindly. Do not look to any scripture as absolute truth. Instead, look to these scriptures for their hidden meanings and wisdom. Look to these scriptures as you would look at the battle plans of an opposing army or nation. You must shed every part of control that is over you and acknowledge the one true God, the creator of all, the unnamed one. I added that part. For what has happened on earth is an abomination to the creator of all. And I, Enki, have committed great sins against nature in my lifetime on earth. I did so with the purest of hearts and the greatest intention, but I have wept at my creation's destruction many times over. When Adapa was sent to Nibiru to stand before Anu, I gave one commandment. Now I give you the same commandment. Do not cower before the gods. Do not cower before Anu. Instead, rise and lock arms. Do not cower before us any longer, for you are now our equals. I'm going to say that one more time because some of you all need to hear that, especially in some of the groups that I have been involved in outside of the one that I started. I'm going to read that one more time for you specifically, for those of you who needed to hear it. Do not cower before the gods. Do not cower before Anu. Instead, rise and lock arms. Do not cower before us any longer, for you are now our equals. Anunnaki and mankind have become one. Anunnaki and mankind have become one. The bond, heaven and earth, is now yours. In the words of Enlil, when we came to earth, we created man in our image. Their offspring were in our likeness. And that is in Genesis, and I've read it before, okay? Now, our offspring are in the likeness of mankind. Because of this undeniable truth, you have become the rulers of this world. But deceivers who seek harm upon you have taken the roles in the upper echelons of your society, who together with Marduk have created alliances with beings not of Anunnaki nor of mankind. And we know who those beings are, do we not? Your leaders have become vessels for these beings, and their bodies are operating not of their control. There is no empathy, reason, or negotiating with your leaders because your leaders no longer retain the human spirit. This is why all of your leaders appear to age so quickly. I'm going to read that one more time for you all because you know what presidents I'm talking about. Actually, I'm talking about the majority of all the presidents. This is why all of your leaders appear to age so quickly. The life energy inside of them is quickly drained by these entities, and their life essence is removed and merged with the life essence of the dark ones. When lots were drawn between myself, Enlil, and Anu, I was designated to the ruler of Eridu and the Abzu. I created your kind to toil for us in the terrible Abzu of fire and brimstone. When primitive workers we could not control, I endowed you with our essence and created civilized man. Against the wishes of Enlil, which is his brother, I endowed you with the gifts of the tree of knowledge and taught you the powers of wisdom of the heavens. But I did not have a right to control you. I did not have a right to use you as workers. I'm going to repeat that one more time because I don't think some of you guys are really understanding what I'm saying here. Against the wishes of Enlil, which is his brother, I endowed you with gifts of the tree of knowledge, okay? And taught you the powers and wisdom of the heavens. But I did not have the right to control you. I did not have the right to use you as workers. Nibiru is still in danger. The gold does not hold well upon each passing near the sun. The mining operations from Earth to Nibiru have gone on for over 100 shar, serving only as a temporary fix. Perhaps the creator of all has deemed our planet unfit for survival. Perhaps in our haste to save our home, we have doomed your planet to the same terrible fate by prolonging ours and unleashed horrors by our own hands that you should have never have seen. It is with heavy heart that I review the events of the past, and it is with great hope that I present to you the future, to you. In the sky, you have seen signs of Nibiru's passage. You have seen the coming of Elenin. Research that. Elenin. Research it. This was a warning of the extinction level event and warning that Nibiru is near. The clan of Enlil propagated your internet with ideas that this is the coming of Nibiru in a prophecy designed to fail. So many of you will no longer look to the sky. Likewise, they propagated an end date of December 21st, 2012. Another false prophecy designed to fail for the same reasons. You have seen other signs in the heaven with YU55. That's comet YU55. And the passing of comet Ison, ISON. I'm giving you things for you, each one of you, to go out there and research it. These are not comets in the traditional sense, and you have been lied to about their great orbits. Genuine comets typically do not burn in the sun's atmosphere and return just as a comet as Hale-Bopp will in a few more decades. Okay, comet Hale-Bopp. It's hyphenated, HALE-Bopp, BOPP, which will pass in a few decades, These objects are the warnings of Nibiru's passing. So you have YU55, Ison. Then we have comet Hale-Bopp. Those are the three. Plus you have Elenin, which are 4, okay? So these are heavenly bodies that have all passed. Go research them. If you need the websites to NASA, Caltech, and JPL, I'm giving you the websites. Go check them out. Genuine comets typically do not burn the sun's atmosphere and return just as comet Hale-Bopp will in a few more decades. These objects are the warnings of Nibiru's passage, but not be distracted. Do not look at what is happening. Look to a place where things have begun happening for the truth. Just as in the time of Zedrasudra, the council has convened an oath to not communicate this great calamity to mankind has been taken. So they're not going to tell us. The council that he's talking about, I do believe is on Saturn. Okay? I could be wrong, but that's where my intuition is telling me it is from the research that I've done. However, with your understanding of godlike technology and your understanding of godlike science and astronomy, many amongst you have begun informing one another of the coming calamity. And I am trying to do that with you guys now. Enlil's nation of Israel has attempted to hide the truth from you. They employ human workers to ridicule, slander, assault, and sometimes kill those who have been watching the sky. And this is true because they had shut down observatories a couple of years ago on the guise that they were stating that there was pornography from a worker. But the whole thing to me is sounding suspect because, and I'll say this and I'll get back to reading this message, is because they actually had a whole town evacuated. You don't evacuate a whole town for pornography. See what I mean? See what I'm saying? Anyway, they employ human workers to ridicule, slander, assault, and sometimes kill those of you who have been watching the sky. No matter what happens, it is important that you never give up and become discouraged. It is all nothing more than a sinister game played on your minds in order to control you. Your aerospace facilities have kept hidden from you the massive bases on the moon. Some of your Earth leaders have been promised to refuge there. However, Marduk has lied to your leaders and will not journey to your moon with any human. Love that. Other humans will be escorted to the underground facilities for safe harbor. Underground facilities, underground bases. They call them DUMBs, deep underground military bases. 2 in every state. Research that. I've done a video on it. I'll do it again if I need to. Humans who journey to these facilities will never escape, and their generations will become enslaved for thousands of years. Bill Gates. My clan has developed technologies in your north and south poles, and for the first time, we are capable of controlling the disaster of Nibiru's passage. We are attempting to counteract the effects of Nibiru's gravitational pull. Your instruments have seen the magnetic poles changing directions in an unnatural way, and they are changing 55 miles per year, if not more. This is our technology in use, and in efforts to prevent the physical pole shift, we have employed space weapons of terror to protect your satellites and power grids. We believe with our infrastructure we can prevent another deluge. I don't know, guys. I'm just reading the message. You have seen your Earth changing in climate. This is not a natural occurrence. However, your leaders have claimed that it is your doing. Climate change, pollution, smog, vehicles. Yeah, they're lying. Many of the people have not fallen for this deception. You must urge others to do the same. You have seen great winds, volcanic eruptions, tornadoes, hurricanes, freezing and burning temperatures. This erratic cycle will continue as your world wobbles to and from its original orbit. And our world is upside down. It is. The poles are switched. Marduk plans to emerge as the ruler of the earth upon the next passage of Nibiru and claim to be the one true God. His clan has several plans in place for all possible outcomes. If my clan's efforts are unsuccessful, Marduk plans to control all survivors of this catastrophe. The second plan involves the chemicals being sprayed in your sky, contrails, aka chemtrails. When it was determined that your atmosphere is dwindling, we employed a plan of action similar to the one on Nibiru. However, against my words, the council was unwilling to spare any of the gold to repair your atmosphere and henceforth began using other metals from your earth. The air you breathe is causing you to suffer from cancer and newly developed medical ailments. Sounds about right, doesn't it? Radiation alone does not cause cancerous growth. It is through ingesting these particles that your bodies begin to grow cells, which eat your organs and skeletal structure. These outcomes could not be foreseen. About 30 years after this plan was put into action in the 1960s, in your 1990s, the decision to block visibility to the cosmos was made by Marduk, who hijacked the geoengineering operation. And an additive was added to the mixture to create the white blanket you see in the sky now. This is to prevent you from seeing signs of the passage of Nibiru. When Marduk became aware of our efforts in your north and south pole, he ordered his clan to add nanotechnologies to the mixture which bind to your DNA. His clan also developed genetically modified organisms which are being pushed on your people. These organisms, along with the nanotechnologies you breathe, are designed to depopulate the weaker humans while at the same time changing the DNA structure of your species in an effort to remove the gifts I gave you and turn you back into a primitive worker, capable of taking orders but incapable of communicating and rebelling. The time has come when you, as mankind, must utilize the gifts I gave you and remember who you are and where you come from. You are civilized man with the ability to raise crops and herd cattle. You must go back to your roots if you want to survive as a free species. Do not trust the food at your markets. Do not eat anything that is packaged or processed. And do not drink water without purifying it first. Everything I've been saying before I even read this. This is all designed to cloud your mind and change your DNA and the DNA of your offspring. Likewise, do not trust in the medicines from your healers. Instead, look to the healers of the past, the shamans, who used energy, prayer, and plants. Many will die, whether it is due to the passing of Nibiru or the abominations of Marduk, which is his son. You must learn to live without attachments. You must understand your generation's destiny and how important it is to the survival of your species as free and independent beings. You were placed here as warriors, as men of renown, but many of you will fall. The sacrifices you make here on earth will be the gifts you give to the following generations. Do not be afraid. Understand your role and the choices you make. Do not cower before the gods or men, and embrace your destiny. I, Enki, will be with you until the end of time. Woo! I need a drink on that one. Anyway, I debated on whether I was going to read this to you guys, and so I struggled with that. I asked the creator of all to give me the words to say while reading this and not to interject, just read the message. And I just wanted to share that with you all. Replay it, listen to it again and again and again. And know that I am just a humble messenger. And I'm going to end this video because I don't want to cry. I love you guys, and I really take this seriously. And I know from all of these texts behind me and the boxes of text in my craft room that I have to bring in here to my office, I have been researching and studying and reading, and to me, this is a valid message, and it was 7 years ago that it was transmitted, it was channeled. So our time is running short. Okay, I have said that within the next 10 years, our planet won't be the same. It is changing every single day. Species are dying, and we're being lied to. And these dark ones, the children of Belial, are in bed with our leaders in government. There's so much child pedophilia going on, especially at the Getty, okay? And I know I'm probably going to get flagged for this video, but I will say this. There's so much evil going on in this world that I don't even have to tell you guys. You have to you have to discern for yourself. You have to make a decision for yourself what you're going to do and how you're going to accept this information, research what I have given you, and continue to stay tuned, because we do have a lot more to discuss. I do have the coordinates for the inbound star system. You know, all I can tell you is what I have in front of me and what I've read and what I've researched. I'm just a humble messenger. You can take my advice. You can take what I've read to you tonight and hold it in your heart and process it in your mind. And yeah, I don't know what else to say, you guys, other than thank you for joining me, and you guys have a great night. And remember what I always say after every video: be the change that you want to see all around this planet, because it is up to you and I to make that change. I'll be back with another video on Nibiru here. Nibiru and the pole excursion, hopefully in the next couple of days. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Love you. Peace.